Well, hello, this is Kevin Kyler with Environmental Inspection Dynamics. In today's presentation, we're going to talk about attics and the problems that can happen within them. So with that, let's push forward. Some information you should know. There are two types of residential attics, conditioned or unconditioned. Now, 99% of the residential attics in the Midwest are unconditioned. Unconditioned means it needs proper balanced airflow to ventilate that problematic moisture out. Boy, we're going to see some of that. This is what you're going to see, that is, this is a conditioned attic, which means it is at the same temperature and humidity as other living areas are held at. Okay, so this is what we have. Now, to understand a conditioned attic, you could go up there with your lunch and play cards if you wanted. Everything up there is insulated, but they have to be done very properly, and that's a tough one. So let's move on from there. All right, this is an unconditioned attic, which means it needs proper balanced airflow to ventilate the problematic moisture out. So let's take a look. All right, I'm going to pull my pointer up here because I want to explain a few things. All right, as you can see, this is a very volumetric type attic. So in other words, as heat moves up through this area and takes moisture with it, it can diffuse it out through hopefully the proper ventilation at the roof and diffuse it out. Whereas something that's a little tighter and smaller in capacity attic doesn't do that as well. We'll get more into this, so let's kind of keep it moving and move on. All right, there are many problems that can add to attic moisture overload in unconditioned attics. When they're moisture overloaded, you can be sure that microbial growth problems will occur. So let's go see some. Let's take a look. First up, oh boy, ice damming. Now, pointer up. I think you could agree, or we all could agree, that's pretty much ice damming, as the note says areas of greatest impact from icing, melt off, and potential ice damming. Now up here, I want to show you what this is called the estimated roof pitch. 4 is the pitch and 12 is the run. These are low for attic pitch, and problems can occur. So let's look at them. Let's go into the attic. Okay, this is not so volumetric. And the other problem is mass HVAC ductwork. What do you think is happening to the heat that escapes? You think it stays contained? No, it doesn't. It escapes, and with it goes moisture, and it goes to the first cold surface of condensate, such as the roof sheathing. You see that? Well, look at all the other things going on here. Not only you got a problem with all this HVAC that's running in the attic, but they don't have enough insulation. So let's move on from there. All right. Now this is basically inside house, and forget all the rest of the stuff on there. Just kind of go with me on this. Right here it says, these cold amorphous-shaped anomalies may be likely deep latent moisture. I should have just said they're ice damming, because as the note you see down there, it says, note that severe icing is occurring outside this point, and that point is right there. You can't even see the window. It's blocked so much by the icing. Get it? All right. Attics in, but no out. Heat attic ventilation is balanced. You're going to hear that more often than you expect. Okay, entrance is at the soffit, exit is at the ridge. And that's pretty basic to understand. So let's take a look at this one. Now, let's follow this. Boy, they did an excellent job of putting in these vents for entrance ventilation. Looks nice, huh? Well, let's move on to the next one. Exit ventilation. See that area up there? That is supposed to be a continuous roof ridge vent. We'll get back to this. Looks good? Well, yes and no. So let's go into the attic. Oh, they got attic ventilation baffles in there. Provents, Durvents. Uh-oh, what's going on here? This is not good, folks. So let's pause on this one. Boy, this dates back. This is the old ligno moisture meter, and it's at 20%. So I'm going to show you something here. It's telling us that the wood is saturated, okay? Follow with me. You see these spots, these white little fluffy things? That's known as the incipient or beginning stages of mold growth. In the slide you saw prior, it's really getting going. So let's go back outside and explain kind of what's happening about that no in but no out. All right, follow with me. Air is supposed to go in, go up like this, and out. Once again, air goes in, goes up, goes out. But that's not happening in this attic. By the way, would you believe this house is only 3 months old? Yep, so what's going on here? Well, the roofing contractor wound up setting that air gun a little too much power and went bam, 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 and smashed down the continuous roof ridge vent, preventing air from going out. And that's what happened. Attics. What we got here? Insulation more is not always better. It's how it's installed. So let's look at this. Does anybody ever read this? I don't think so. The same thing here. What am I trying to tell you? If you read this, it says this part, the facing, goes to the warm side. In other words, they got it wrong. It's supposed to be down against the warm side of the drywall, the ceiling. They didn't do that. You know what happens? Heat comes up with moisture, gets blocked under there or under here, and guess what? Mold's going to grow. Okay, so let's look at some of this stuff. All rafter soffit pockets are blocked. Okay. The home inspector of record told the client, you need to get somebody in here to investigate this problem because I really think you got mold. Well, yes, they did. They asked me, well, why? Well, here we go. I told them, you blocked off all the entrance rafter soffit pockets. Well, they said, we don't want all that cold air going up in the attic. Oh, boy, that's not all right. Follow me on this one. You see these? We call them insulation, ventilation, rafter soffit pocket baffles, better known as Provents or Durvents. They are supposed to be here. They took them out. Is that the only problem? No, they don't have enough insulation. Heat that moves through a solid is known as conduction. When it goes through air, it's convection. So you get all this conduction from the warmth below coming up in the attic, which it will, and guess what? It condensates there, and you have mold. Attics. Exhaust ventilation. Oh, I'm surprised at inventive measures people take. Let's look at this. Well, we'll point it up. It should go out. Ooh, look at this one. We got it a little closer. Oh, boy, that is not right. Now, this is the fun one. I call it the roller coaster effect. Look, somebody's taking a long hot shower, running a fan. All that heat and humidity and steam's going up here. Boink, gets stuck there. Where do you think that moisture's going? Think about that. Oh boy, this one's got more problems than I can tell you, but let's look at them. No dumping allowed. When you vent like this, it's called dumping into the attic. That's our slang. Look again. They blocked all the rafter soffit pockets. Also, they decided to put sheathing, decking in the attic. No, don't do that. Why? Because, again, heat with the moisture moves up, goes into the underside of that. When it gets really cold in the attic, it condensates. By the way, mold's favorite food is anything that is cellulose. In other words, from the tree all the way down to paper. Let's get over to here to the crazy problems. That vent comes from the kitchen over the stove. This vent comes from the bathroom. Gee, they took out the old attic ventilator and they said, well, that should work. I don't think so. All right, we're getting near the end here, folks. Improper bathroom and kitchen exhaust ventilation. Here's the rule. Read with me. To the roof, through the roof with proper roof jack vents and with bird screens, vented in 4-inch smooth galvanized pipe and wrapped with exterior insulation. And if you got a gable roof, you're in good luck. So let's look at something here. It's a detail I did. Follow with me. Okay. This is known as the gable end of the attic. A gable simply means you have two sides, a front and a back of the roof. All right, so this is the attic wall. Here's the ventilator. Let's follow. Submerged in pipe insulation. It should be, okay? The duct is pitched downward. You see that? So the drips can go drip, drip, drip. And they've got a bird screen with a backdraft damper in there so air can't go back in there. If you do it this way and you've got a gabled end attic, this is the best way to go. All right. Let's close with this. There's much more. If you feel you have attic ventilation problems, then call me. Here I am. Look, there's the email. If you got to this site, just add Kevin at, and you can get to my email. Now, if you don't like emailing, then you can call me, voicemail me, text me. Just give me a call. I'm glad to answer questions. Thanks for watching.